So what if the government learns that rather than scientists, that magicians are our last hope as a species? They're like, why are we giving all of our trust and our faith in Elon Musk when Chris Angel mind freak can levitate over the Luxor? I mean, why aren't we harnessing this guy?
I think it's similar as if they found like a meteor was going to hit the Earth and kill everyone. You just do nothing and you don't tell anybody. You just let it end. If you find out magicians are your last, I'd be like, that's fine. We'll just...
I don't know, dude.
I would prefer that world.
No. I'm not just letting it all go.
Are you sure that if you got David Blaine, Copperfield, the two Davids
they're
together...
so annoying already, and they have...
What are you talking about? David Blaine could get like 5 tigers to appear in front of the meteor, or sorry, David Copperfield, and then David Blaine could hold his breath for really long.
It would be...
There's the face of the meteor.
Global warming, at the summit, David Blaine just keeps stabbing himself with like a sickle. How am I doing it? This is a metaphor. This is what you're all doing.
Maybe David Blaine could teach the world how to hold their breath so long to cope with rising sea levels.
Was Copperfield
Reduce
the one?
carbon, because you exhale carbon.
Exactly. Yeah.
We all hold our breath for like 15 minutes
breathing.
at a time.
Yeah, you have a mandatory maximum for your breathing per day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like watering your grass in California.
Yes.
But we can't get there unless we start giving David Blaine millions of taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You hear David Blaine speak, and then a guy's like, and everyone's like, that was selfish. That was a selfish sigh. You know how much carbon was in your disdain? A little bit.
Yeah, enough.
You know how the cow's farting is the big one?
Yeah, methane.
People have to inhale the cow farts.
How is that a magic thing?
Is this a separate
What are we
question?
talking about?
Are you trying to hijack my question?
I'm just saying, like,
We
you could do it.
We did inhaling farts last episode. We can't have every
we?
episode. Yeah, with the
Nick's been
Jew
huffing
thing.
a lot of cow ass, so his brain's a little wonky at the moment.
Like, would you root for a guy who was like, I'm trying to stop global warming by
inhaling his
voice
fart?
he sounds like a cow when he talks. I just inhaled.
When he hears someone like fart on a subway, he screams like, "Got it!"
He's like-
dives into the tips.
He's like Captain Adam with cow farts. He absorbs the energy that the universe can't handle. It all goes into his ass. It's not a real ass. It's just a suit that contains energy. His ass is just it's as big as a state.
Yeah, he has to.
More cows. He looks like a queen bee. Workers are just climbing up him and feeding him
They
cows.
puncture him, and then he has to heroically fly many miles above the city to get
And let
everyone
the
out. It's
methane out.
like the Iron Giant kind of.
You see a huge green cloud in the atmosphere, and everyone like starts clapping and banging pots and pans together, like the nurses just got off shift. I was just thinking, like,
Let's pick a natural disaster that magicians would be especially suited for.
I mean, Chris Angel is practically has the Infinity Glove. I mean, that guy's super powerful. I feel like he can just like put his hand against something and shake, and
Things will
something's
happen.
gonna happen.
It'll work out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be fine.
You'll be in a different place than you were.
Yeah, exactly.
You're suddenly behind glass that you didn't notice before or something. Mm-hmm. I think maybe he could solve like Israel-Palestine.
Just by shaking.
And then everyone's so amazed and distracted by his magic that they don't really remember what they were fighting
They
about.
take down that whole missile defense system
Or
on the
maybe-
Israel side and just let him shake at the missiles.
But then when Israel started winning too hard, then he would go switch sides.
Yeah, like to Palestine.
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
equalizer.
That wouldn't solve. That would just prolong it.
Well, yeah, it'd level the playing field. Well, I mean, I think the main reason it would solve the conflict is because people would realize Chris was
The Chris
true
Angel?
religion. Yeah, Chris Angel.
Oh.
As opposed to Jesus, Moses, Muhammad.
We can do that. You can fly with
Jerusalem would cease to mean anything after
Yeah.
Chris Angel visited the
It'd be
Gaza
Vegas
Strip.
would be the homeland or Holy Land.
Yeah. We'd
That all pray towards
Vegas.
the Luxor.
I really think Chris could change the world.
He has.
Well, even more.
Yeah.
With our help.
What
I
if it-
want you to pray to Chris Angel.
Yeah.
And then his powers grow.
I mean, if it turned out Chris
And he
Angel
can
was
levitate even
Donald Trump,
higher.
I would be like, all right, that tracks.
Oh, if he got reelected for a second term.
No, if it just turns out like 2016, it was Chris Angel the whole time.
Yeah, he was just lifting
Yeah, but
one
he,
of
like,
his feet
he-
up in a weird way. So you
he
could
looked
from
like-
just the right angle. You're
Yeah,
like,
he
that's
looks
Donald
exactly
Trump.
like Donald Trump.
Yeah, look from a different angle. That's Chris Angel.
I mean, his whole fashion sense is very much like emo Christ.
Sure.
It's like goth Christ. Like whenever he levitates,
Yeah.
it is, you're right, it is with almost like crucifixion style
Yeah.
posing. And then he goes really high.
think he
And
could have
how
been more-
does he go higher than the highest thing? You can't put strings up there.
Yeah.
That's the highest thing.
Yeah, was it on the moon?
Oh, what's he got?
String
a
on the
pulley system
moon?
from the moon? That guy's magic. Yeah, what natural disasters magicians could fix? I think David Blaine teaching us all how to hold our breath longer.
That's a good one.
Would be helpful.
School shootings
species
would be a fun one.
Oh, yeah, that would work too.
How do you think Copperfield would
Yeah, so school shootings.
go school shootings?
Well, David Blaine would just be like, shoot me. He would just shoot him a bunch of times. He'd be like, there's no blood. No blood. Why is there no blood? You're like, I don't know, dude. God!
Are you made of plastic?
Shoot me in the face. Dude, I don't want to shoot you. Do it. He brings the guns. Just because he wants someone to do it. Someone do it.
Yeah, there wasn't a school shooter. He just keeps demanding that people shoot him in the face.
Someone shoot me.
Yeah. He gives the guns to the kids.
And they do
I
not
want you
want
to shoot me. And he's like, I've been looking for one of these. I keep getting denied because I'm a kid.
That'd be so great. David Blaine just doing really, because just like the
yeah.
like ice pick trick, but it's like really graphic, serious suicide. It's like so offensive. He like hangs himself and has a note, and then everyone mourns, and he's like, "I'm not dead."
Yeah.
Like, jeez.
He's in the suicide forest of Japan. He's like, hey.
Back and then he starts
There's no blood.
What?
starts doing that gross frog thing right after.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'll save it.
You know, have you guys heard from him in a while?
No.
I think he may, like Wolverine, have been abducted by the government to maybe run experiments on
tests
him.
on him.
Yeah, take parts of his flesh, see why. I mean, if you try to operate on David Blaine, I bet you couldn't even get in there.
There's no blood. His big thing is there's no blood.
They tried to test him for like 2 years trying to get samples, and then they just released him once they realized they couldn't get anything usable from his,
Yeah, they only tried blood samples.
his regenerative flesh.
An amazing David Blaine trick is he takes enough OxyContin to kill himself. And then he's able to throw them all up. Like the frog thing. And everyone's like, you're like an asshole. Like, I get how you did it. You're like a huge piece of shit.
And he's like, no, first you got to drink 30 gallons of water.
Yeah.
Do you think a magician's ever had a fake funeral where they do a trick like that, and then they levitate over the coffin or whatever? I'm not really
And then they
dead.
fall and actually die.
Yeah, and then everyone's already there, so they do the
they
service.
do the
anyways.
service.
Okay.
Like we were kind of prepared for this. I mean,
Yeah.
Luckily, I wrote 2 eulogies.
kind of a twist, but yeah.
One assuming he was coming back.
One assuming
and then
this
one-
wasn't
Yeah.
the real one.
Yeah.
Do you know how What's-His-Face died? The really famous, like, old-timey magician?
Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Houdini.
He made those towers disappear.
Houdini wasn't a magician. He was like an escape artist. He billed himself as a magician, but I'm not buying it.
Okay, well then.
But I know. How did he die?
Well, how did he die?
They
but
punched
tell
him in
the
the
people.
nads to death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sack tapped.
Birthday sack taps.
Yeah.
He was like
and he
35.
can clench his balls so hard he can usually defend it, but he was sleeping. So he
Yeah.
got
You
him
can
right in
usually
the nuts.
suck him back in so that you miss.
No, it was really mean how they killed him. The guy was like, "Can I punch you in the stomach?" And he's like, "Sure." And as he was getting up, the guy's like, "Yeah!" It takes him for that. And he was like, "Whoa, I was not ready. I'm bleeding internally, but okay, let's actually do it."
Did you ever hear this story?
And then he died like 2 days later. I think like a week later.
Yeah,
It was a
it took him a
slow
long. He
bleed.
had like
And he
a
tried to
internal
convince
bleed.
everyone he died of something else.
Yeah.
No, I had black lung.
What if the real Houdini was actually inside him trying to escape the fake artifice Trojan horse Houdini?
That's horrifying.
Yeah, it's pretty
Goes to
scary.
punch him in the stomach and you see a face. Right in the skin.
My greatest trick.
Trans
and then you
Houdini.
could,
He
and then you
escaped.
could.
She escaped.
She escaped him. That'd be a great drag queen name.
Trans Houdini.
Well, no, you could probably drop trans if they're a drag queen. That's a little redundant.
I like the idea of a trans drag queen. The character is trans,
So there's just
The characters,
but they are not.
yeah.
I play a trans. I'm a transvestite who plays a transgender.
They just look normal. That's bad. Don't.
They all look normal.
Yeah.
They all look hot.
Yes. Wait, I had a thought. Oh, did you guys ever hear that? I may have told this on the pod before, but there was this story. It was like an old magician. I don't know who it was, but
Houdini.
it was not Houdini.
Jesus.
It was someone who would do making things appear. That was their big thing. And it's this magician in like the 1910s. This is told from his wife's perspective. And she goes, I was sitting across from my husband. We were at the restaurant. And he's looking over the menu. He had it like this to order food. And after about 15 minutes, he just puts the menu down, and there's a block of ice that's like this big. And she's like, and I wept. He just didn't say. He was like being weirdly quiet the whole time and was just like, this is big ice.
Just slowly
I
trying
love
to
you
lift
so
up
fucking
a block
much.
of ice from below the counter. He walked in with a huge backpack. She's like, "What's in there?" He's like, "Work stuff."
It's my laptop. What's that?
Yeah. It's like 17 laptops stacked on top of one another.
Yeah, it's been a week. It's been a week.
Boss sent me home with a lot of work. 17 laptops. That'd be horrific if you had one laptop for every task. Yeah. Boss is a real dickhole. He says, I got to figure out how to balance the budget. I tell him,
Which
we
is
got to
tough,
stop
'cause
buying all
the-
these laptops.
Yeah, they sit down. Can we sit you by the window? Ooh, could you put us in the freezer? Perchance.
These laptops overheat pretty easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Magician solving gun violence, magician solving, what are other issues?
Well, even, there's also like poverty, hunger, infrastructure, like junkyards.
What's junkyards?
You know.
What, just that there are junkyards?
They're
Yes.
gross. You ever been to one of those? Fucking sucks. I stepped on a nail. Goddamn tetanus.
Yeah, maybe have David Blaine.
He just
Landfills.
steps on shit.
More and more landfills, like taking up more and more land, or even graveyards, cemeteries taking up just land use in general. Maybe
Landfills could be fun. Every time you try to get rid of one and you start digging it, fucking David Blaine's just already in there. How'd I get in here? All right, man.
This isn't helpful, David.
Stop getting in the once it's just his head.
How do you think more about what you throw in here? He crawls out of a finished landfill.
Damn it, David. You're filling a landfill and you clearly see David Blaine like in a trash bag. His head sticking out like...
There's like his buddy that's there with the camera, just kind of documenting the behind the scenes stuff.
Like, we see you, David Blaine. You're clearly in this trash bag.
How would they really fix it though? Because you keep making jokes where he's not fixing it.
Oh, right.
I don't think they would.
I think that you could do David Blaine could be the world's recycling. You just all your cans you put into David Blaine's
Yes,
mouth.
that's good.
Just
that's
keeps
good
eating them.
stuff.
Yeah, but he keeps coughing them up at parties, which is not
You guys
what
want to
we
see
want.
me regurgitate all the pollution?
Yeah.
No, David. No, it's amazing. The trick is
Yeah,
I had a
that's a
bunch
federal-
of water before.
That's a federal crime, David. To litter trash that the government sold to you.
Yeah.
We've replaced you with China.
It's actually
we
just-
sell all of our trash to China.
China's kind of the David Blaine
Blaine
of
of-
this issue.
Yeah, they're a
Where'd it
bottomless
go?
pit.
The problem is he keeps
Ocean.
doing the magic trick to turtles, so it keeps getting them just as fucked
Yeah,
up.
he keeps kissing turtles and vomiting
Plastic
cans
rings.
into them. Who are other magicians that you guys know of?
I don't know any magicians.
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 I know a couple magicians. Medea does magic.
What was that?
That was really scary. Was that your phone?
Yeah, Nord's phone is low on battery.
Nor's phone is low on battery?
And I get that notification.
You are a possessive boyfriend.
No, she made me download an app.
Get your ass home.
Find a charger. And don't ask a man. Why do you know that?
She made me download an app that just shares like all of our information with each other.
Who do you think's more possessive, you or her?
I don't. Neither
Does
one.
she
Of,
get a notification when you convert? Is it
yeah.
like, "Bring"?
When I'm acting too Christian, she gets notified.
Yeah.
When Nathan bends down to pray, the chip in his spine activates, and she knows that he's facing Mecca, praying to the one true God.
I'm just spinning around, and whenever I get to just the right angle, it starts beeping like crazy.
What if, back to the Chris Angel thing, what if he levitates over Mecca, everyone thinks he's Muhammad, and now you're not allowed to draw Chris Angel? He has to cancel his TV show because it's illegal in Islam, and people keep trying to wage fatwas against True TV or whatever network he's on.
Yeah, they like kill the ridiculousness guy.
He has a new show. Chris Angel does. That's why I'm thinking about him. He's like a 50-year-old like magician trying to make a comeback.
That's so funny.
He's like kind of fat now. He's like a lead singer of like a once popular rock band. He like looks kind of like shit. It's pretty great.
I would love to see an old fat Chris Angel fucking up most of the tricks.
Trying to fly, but he's too fat.
Do it. You clearly see everything. You're like, that would be better than him doing the tricks.
Yeah.
forever.
You can see the ropes like tighten against his like body.
Yeah, his like tits get all up.
He looks like a Christmas ham. Just
Can't really lift him up. Kind of falls back down.
And now I will levitate.
Jeremy, harder! I'm trying, boss.
Just keeps farting. Pushes the gap.
Millions of Muslim congregants are below, like, no, our Lord.